Hello divas, dudes, and dolls, I'm Caricature, and welcome back to my triste, trucking along and tired little review show, very slay, where we go over each and every floor show look on the Boulet Brothers Dragula Season 6. I'm sorry, I have no energy for this video, given what's going on in the States right now. I'm recording this the day after the election. I don't know what's gonna happen. I am incredibly terrified right now. Like, low-key kind of scared to even just leave the house. There may be a whole bevy of content coming down the line because I will be throwing myself deep into work because it's the only thing I can do really to distract myself from the impending dread of having an entire family who's voted against your rights and interests. Aside from my parents, they're like the only good ones. I'm sad I'm in a bit of a funk for these episodes I'm recording today because this floor show in particular I thought was one of the coolest themes they've had on Dragula in a hot minute. I thought doing this monochromatic monster that's like a nod to the Universal films and silent film horror was super cool. Some of these looks were great, other ones, I have thoughts. And you can find those thoughts on the episode as a whole over on my Patreon. I'm a little behind on episode posts again, given everything going on, but I will be getting caught up with Espana, Down Under, and Dragula in the coming days. So be sure to head on over to the Patreon as a free member if you want to access that. But if you want behind the scenes sneak peeks of things and bonus content, etc., be sure to sign up as well. It helps keep the content coming. If I think the look is fine, got the job done, wasn't anything amazing, it's an okay. I love it, it's a slay. If I don't like it, it's an A. All in efforts to find my weekly slay of the day, my favorite look out of the episode, which will go head to head against our current slay of the season, which is Aurora Gosmic's Ghost Train Glamorous Moment. Whichever look holds that top spot at the end of the season, I will be doing a lovely little illustration of it at some point once I get caught up even more. Sneak peek sketches, that's all on Patreon. So be sure to click the link below and sign up if you are interested in that. Let's go ahead, switch over, get this out of the way, and talk about these looks. As always for Dragula, we are going in alphabetical order, starting off with Asia Consent. This idea I thought was really cool. I think just in general, as an individual costume and a look, this is one of the more impressive ones of the week. I think her being in the top was very well deserved. I also agree that it did look a little too modern for the theme. I thought I had this kind of interesting idea of something that was like quite Elizabethan, but also quite eldritch. And I thought that was a really fun and interesting combo. I thought the dress was detailed well. I thought the tentacle idea was cool. I thought the mask and the makeup and the headpiece nature of it all, I think that's what really took it out of being like that old movie monster level of creepy, because it was a little, I think it was just a little too full of details to really shine in the way that I was hoping it would. But either way, I think it's one of the stronger looks of the episode. It's a slide. Then up next we have Anti-Heroine. I adored this look so much. I've been obsessed with this look since the trailer came out. It's one of my favorite looks from the trailer. The only thing I didn't like about it was the scale of the crown on the mask. I thought it could have been a little bit larger. The way that the mask kind of changed her nose shape or flattened it out or pulled it up, whatever she did with it. And the mouth, the teeth, the completely rhinestoned eyes. It was freaky. And the way she moved with the mantis arms, like the silhouette of this was really gorgeous too. I loved the gown. I loved the arms. I loved the draped fabric behind it. There was something just super graphic about it that I was really drawn to. It kind of gave me like comic book energy. There's something about it that kind of gave me the chrysalis eater from Teen Titans when she like transforms and she's the big bug lady with the pincers. It kind of gives me that, but extra Conte. It's a slay. Then we have Aurora, my dearly departed, my mother, gone but not forgotten. From here up, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was cool that she was doing more of a masculine take. But this is now, what, the like 4th time in the competition her look is a bodysuit? The mummy became a bodysuit. The doll was a bodysuit. This was a bodysuit. The only thing that really wasn't like a bodysuit or something with pants that didn't have more of like a bodysuit silhouette was her gown from the Ghost Train episode. So I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't a lot of like silhouette diversity in that department. Like the baby is really the only other thing that was like super different for that. It was just like not impressive once you got past the neck. I didn't like anything with the bodysuit. I didn't like the way it fit. I didn't like the stonework on it. It just felt like an afterthought. It's gonna be an A for me. Then up next we have Grey Matter, who I was so happy to see take the win this week. I thought this look was incredible and totally fit the vibe of the old costuming magic of those old movie monster or of those old monster movies. Like the level of scale with the stilts, the arms and the wings, the fake arms in the front to really hide it. I thought the whole silhouette was cool. I liked that the jacket and the skirt that was made to like hide the stilts were textured leather. And I really enjoyed the fact, on top of that, it really did give this like creepy gargoyle monster in every way. I thought this was incredibly successful and a very, very well-deserved win. This is a slay. Then we have Jaharia, who's a fuzzy little bat guy. I've seen this concept done before by Sasha Velour actually, but done much better. And predominantly what it came down to for me was the wings. I didn't really care for the makeup because the costume is a warm tone gray where it's more beigey and browns, but then the face is a cool tone gray, so it really stands out and clashes with the rest of the look. And then the wings aren't articulated, so they're just like out. They're like ISIS wings, basically. Wearing a clever costume, and I just did not think that it was successful because it didn't read as a bat. A bat wing is a really specific shape, and she completely missed it on that. I'm a bat girl, so because of that, it's an A. The wing shape alone makes this an A. We have Pi. How was Pi safe? How was Pi safe? I don't think Pi should have been in the bottom two, but I think Pi and Yuri should have been swapped. Pi's look, like it makes sense for Pi's character. Nothing about this says old movie monster to me. If Asia's is too modern, so is Pi's. I think the gradient arms is a cool idea. I think the implementation of the feathers to kind of give it some texture is interesting. But when you're wearing a look that's all black like this, it gets lost on stage because there's no way to properly light it. And you really can tell that in the silent film part where it's shot in black and white, which I have thoughts and opinions on that part of the challenge because I thought it was low-key kind of stupid. But more on that over on Patreon. I just wasn't impressed by it. I think of everything that Pi has done, Pi tends to end up placing kind of like 4th, 5th in the lineup for me. I mean, that tracks here, but I think Pi should have been more in that definitively 5th spot. It's okay, I guess. Like, it's black and white. It's a monster. But I just don't particularly care for it. You know what? Actually, no, I changed my mind. It's a nay. And then finally, we have Yuri. And based on the sketch, I was so excited for this look because I loved this idea of this creepy flower monster. There's something about this that's very Bayonetta, very Digimon, very SMT even for me. So I was really, really keen to see how this was going to turn out. Unfortunately, the outfit she had didn't fit. According to Jaharia, it wasn't impressive. And then she had to improvise and just like whip something together. I think it looked good considering that. The headpiece is really fucking cool. I think it's really graphic. The gradient work is really well done. And I wish we could have seen the full original design and the full original intention because it just looked like it would have been really, really impressive. Had it been fully delivered at the caliber that I was hoping it would have been, it probably would have been my favorite look of the week. I think the gown itself, because it's not like totally a fully fleshed out design, because it couldn't have been in the time frame, it's gonna be an okay. And now it's time to pick my slate of the day. It really comes down to like any of the top 3, and it's gonna have to depend on, in the moment, which one I pick, because I like all 3 of these looks a lot. And I think they're all really cool, really impressive. And I think this is another week where objectively the best look is Gray's. That being said, my personal favorite look that I think would be the most fun to draw is going to be Auntie. So Auntie Heroine is going to get my slate of the day for this episode, and I'm going to put this look up against Aurora's for my slate of the season. Honestly, I think I might move it back over to Auntie because I genuinely have been like excited to see this look since the trailer. It's been the one look that has like been on my mind constantly ever since. I think it's just gonna go to her. But we will see next week when we have our top 6. We've only got like 4 episodes left before we have crowned a new super monster. And we will just have to find out if Auntie can hold that top spot for another week. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for even more drag TV fashion and look coverage in your subscription feeds. Check on your queer friends, your trans friends, the women, the folks with uteruses, the people of color, at least the ones that didn't vote for Trump. And make sure that they're doing okay, if you know any of them in the US. Just rough out there in these streets. That's gonna be it for me for this one. We will see you next time. Until then, be sure to go out there, stay kind, stay queer, make sure that your day is very slay.